At India Habitat Center, a great book was launched by Dr. G.Shreekumar Menon, IRS retired PhD Narcotics. The name of the book is Drug Traffickers and Intriguing Tentacles of Narco-Terrorism. We are going to show you in many episodes about the event.
Sabha Member of Parliament, Shri Tarun Vijay, Shri Sudhanshu Pandey, IAS, who retired as Commissioner, Shri N. Venkatraman, Additional Solicitor General of India, with his vast experience and knowledge and deep insight into the working of NDPS Act, Shri M. C. Gupta, who is an IAS officer of 1960 batch and has held several important positions, as his rich experience and throw some light on the narcotic problems. Without further ado, I call upon
The whole title was very complex to open. So it would be easy.
We think that people listen to him and hear him. It's a high time that the issue of narco-terrorism and we discussed. There is no bigger security threat to India than the narco-terrorism. The communism has become one of the biggest national security threat especially after 1962, when the Congress government presented a white paper in Lok Sabha of the communist parties in Lok Sabha. At a time, Home Minister was Mr. Gulyani Nanda. And after that, the communist ideology had spread in various violent, anti-national and insurgent groups, which are called sometimes Naxals, Maoists, and on the portal of Ministry of Home Affairs, it is described, and they describe that almost terrorism since last 1 millennium. The attack of Muhammad bin Qasim was a jihadi terrorism attack against India, and they destroyed our lives. They massacred people. They destroyed the centers of faith, the temples in India. But we hardly have that kind of a historical sense to teach our younger generation that you belong to a nation and a society, and you are a descendant of those ancestors who have faced the worst form of terrorism in the world. Worst form of terrorism. And that terrorism is now also being reflected in the narco-terrorist jihad. And that narco-terrorist jihad, सर या तो आप बोल लीजिए या मुझे बोलने दीजिए, है ना? मैं तो 2-2.5 मिनट बोलूंगा, लेकिन मुझे लगता है शायद आप कुछ बात मुझसे कह रहे हैं, तो मेरा ध्यान आपकी तरफ भटक जाता है. तो this kind of a terrorism has to be discussed threadbare. Now I am going to give you in a very space because I am the first speaker, so I will be very short. The economy of trade would continue irrespective of strict legislation. 4,600 kilograms per annum, 99 of the world's total 6,000 metric tons is produced in Afghanistan. Poppy cultivation is done in 18 out of the 31 provinces of Afghanistan. The cultivation is done in an organized form under the Taliban-controlled administration. So the narco-terrorism, how it powers India's enemies to attack India. All the enemies of India in our neighborhood depend on narco-terrorism to weaken our power to resist, power to respond. And Punjab is one glaring example, which was known as a land of Garbi, that Jawani and the great Jats and young people. It is now consuming the largest amount of drugs in the country according to one figure. So that is one big attack on our, the roots. Pakistan's heroin industry in terms of turnover is estimated at approximately 74 billion rupees, that is 5% of its GDP, which is 20 to 25% of the total estimated shadow economy. It also reports that Pakistan earned $1.5 billion from export of heroin in the last decade. Now, Pakistan is one of the major enemies, bigger enemies of the country, and narcotics have been an important source of income for tribals at the Pakistan-Afghanistan border since ages. It did not emerge as a socio-economic and political problem until 1978. Opium produced in this region was consumed locally. Cultivation of poppy and cannabis was encouraged during the military dictatorship of Ziaul Haq to finance terrorist activities in India. General Zia's support for cultivation of narcotic drugs gave a new dimension to international drug trafficking and terrorism in India. His target was to destabilize India as well as of Imran Khan. If you might have read or heard about the story of Imran Khan written by one of his ex-wives, and that has created a lot of stir in Pakistan. And she has written that Imran himself consumes various forms of drugs, and he has been involved in the drug peddling, also encouraging the drug business to destabilize India.